Cheers to adulting.
This is Cheers to Adulting!
Yay!
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for still being with us.
You're putting up with us, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, you could listen to something else.
Like, literally anything else.
Literally anything else.
I think there's something on, like, NPR right now.
Maybe.
Or, you know, like 104.5 or...
Is that a
like,
radio station?
That's a radio station. Like, I am so sick of this shit, I'm gonna put on the radio.
Right. So today's episode is brought to you by Whiskey Sours. Traditionally, we like to have a themed cocktail to tie into the episode. We let Pat, our video guy, pick. He picked Whiskey Sours. I asked him why, and he said because they're tasty. And that's good enough for me.
I can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, alcohol, you don't need much else for that.
Right.
So, today, we're going to be talking about touching ourselves.
In a very, very clean way.
Yeah, for cleaning purposes. I mean, if you want to do it in a nasty way, but like clean, then do it.
Or nasty, and then you clean up afterwards.
Yeah. But before we talk about that, we should talk about some adulting things that we've done this week
We
or
should.
haven't done. Do you want to start or do you want me to go first?
You know what? I can start.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of go in two directions. The first one is a very shameless plug thing because
I mean, we have our own fucking podcast. I feel like there's like that's the place to plug yourself.
Should I clean up afterwards?
No, leave it.
Ooh, now we're getting
Let it
dirty.
feel my head fire.
But all right, so y'all listen to me plug myself.
Yes, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Your whole life, like 4 years old, toddling around, like I can't wait until Abby plugs herself.
Yep, but in different contexts. So you're adulting.
Anyways, my adulting. So the first one is the shameless plug.
Still plugging. I'm sorry. Shameless plug.
I'm not just plugging myself, I'm shamelessly plugging myself and on recording and in front of video recording and audio recording. So, you know, that's happening. Anyway, so as y'all know, as if you've been listening to this podcast and putting up with us, you know that I'm a writer. You know that my most recent book, In the Event the Flower Girl Explodes, is out. I've been promoting it like a madwoman, and most recently I was down in Reading, Massachusetts for a reading, which just I know, right? Like it's already over, and I'm just like, I had a reading in Reading. That's amazing.
If you're not watching the video of this, you should see the level of delight that was on Abby's face.
It is a pure
reading and Reading, and she's such a pun person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a pure joy. It really is. Like I can't put into words how happy puns make me, and yeah, I'm lighting up like a Christmas tree right now because pun. Anyway, so I was at White Limb Books in Reading, and I'm gonna give them a nice little shout out because they're amazing. It's such a wonderful bookstore. I'd never been there before until I was there on Saturday, and it was part of National Indie Bookstore Day.
Nice.
So me and a couple other authors were able to come in throughout the day and do readings, and you know it actually really went well. The reading I did a couple weeks ago, I had a father and son. I think I mentioned it on the podcast. They sat down, and then like 2 minutes later, they got up and left.
This is not the book you were looking for.
This was not the book. And again, the book is about a 22-year-old girl dealing with like wedding drama. Like I don't think they're my demographic, but that did not happen this time around. And in fact, I actually had people who were wandering the store and like hearing me talk and like sat down, and I was like,
go on.
Yes, I have an engaged audience. This is amazing. And yeah, it went really well, and people were they purchased it, including a reviewer. So I'm really excited about that because I could use all the good reviews I can get. I'm a little guy, like, you know, I'm not.
Well, you're a big little girl.
I mean, yeah, I'm
We are giants.
I am a giant in stature, but I'm little in terms of success. So every single reader, every single reviewer counts. So this is also a great time to say, if y'all have read my book or, you know, have an Amazon or Goodreads account and feel like just really doing me a solid, like leaving me a positive review would be amazing. Because again, us little guys, like we live and die by those reviews. You know, we're not Stephen King, who's going to get like 10,000 people who are going to read and review that book. Like, I'm going to get maybe 20. But yeah, that was my shameless plug. And then the actual, like, adulting, the boring stuff. I did
live for the boring stuff.
Right? Like, after I'm done plugging myself, I have to do the boring stuff afterwards. But at least
Missionary style.
at least I'm a little more satisfied, though. So, but today was not only invoicing day because it's the first of the month, and I could go on a very, very, very long rant about how obnoxious it is and how obnoxious it's getting, because I have certain places that have changed their invoicing policy, and it went from like this crazy easy invoicing to like now I'm plugging it. I'm doing the not
So
fun
much
type of
plugging,
plugging.
right?
But this is not the fun plugging. This is the plugging that I'm just like, I feel dirty, and not like a good type of dirty, but plugging into an Excel spreadsheet. And who wants to plug Excel spreadsheets? Like,
I don't mind it.
I mean, give enough alcohol and, rose color or not, beer goggles. There we go. So I knocked that bitch out of the park.
Yeah.
And then I also went through all the mail that I've been allowing to accumulate and not actually go through, because I have been zipping around doing things like promoting my book and teaching. And 99% of it is spam anyways. So who wants to frickin' like, oh, great, Discover Card is really interested in having me. Great. Like, you have to go through that, make sure you're not accidentally ripping up like an important notice, and then you rip it up because it's a fucking Discover Card offer. But on top of that, I noticed that I still needed to pay the doctor from my most recent doctor's visit, and was like, all right, going on the website, paying that little copay thing, and boom, done. Felt like such an adult.
Adulty as fuck.
Right? Adulty AF, bitch.
Yup.
That should be one of our shirts.
Yes.
Adulting AF.
Yes.
Like,
I'd buy it. I'd wear it.
Right?
Wear my own shit.
I would wear
Wear
it.
your own band.
Right? When you're done plugging yourself, you wear your own t-shirts.
All
right,
Is
but
that, yeah?
Yeah, that is it.
Awesome.
Your turn, baby.
All right. So a little backstory. My lovely friend Moria and her boyfriend Tex, they were happened to be both traveling separately at the same time. So they needed someone to watch their very lovable, but very high energy, and a little needy dog named...
Little needy.
Yeah. Bug. And he's tiny, and he's cute as fuck. I
Cute
love
AF.
him. Cute AF. But I also have cats. And they've lived with an Australian Shepherd before, which is like a huge fucker. But Bug is smaller than them, and so Floof didn't mind him at all, and he would chase her, and she didn't mind it. That's like her favorite game. But Fizzle, however, was not having it. She is such a princess, and she likes all the attention on her. So she'd whine like from the counter where he couldn't get to. Well, they're not used to being like sharing space with cats or sharing space with dogs. So needless to say, at the end of the week, my house reeked of pee. Yesterday I came home and I was horrified because my house fucking reeked of animal pee. Excuse me. That is literally my worst fucking nightmare. Like, I'm a cat owner, so I don't want people to walk into my house and be like, oh, you must have cats. Not because they see my cat, because they smell it.
Yeah.
So I try and be on top of my litter box shit. And we have more than one because it will prevent them having accidents and being where they shouldn't. So, yesterday I came home, I smelled it, and I was like, all right, let's go play hide and go find pee-pee. And I look and just like sticking my nose on the floors in corners and stuff and spraying, odor remover stuff everywhere, mop the floors and I saged the shit out of the house. Fun fact, if you didn't know, science has proven that burning sage actually purifies the air. Science Magic Remix!
Science, bitch.
Science, bitch! Anyways, after my pee-pee crusade, I put away the dishes, I cleaned the kitchen, and I made some oat milk, and I took a shower. And I did this all after going to the gym. And lifting 115 during my back squats. I upped my weights. I was pretty proud of myself. And then after it was all said and done, I kind of phoned it in nutrition-wise and just had a little bit of leftover soup and a sour beer. I mean, nobody's perfect, right?
Right. Like, we only have so many adulting tokens, essentially, to spend throughout the day. And, like, it sounded like you used that up.
Cleaned
and
up
then,
pee, cleaned the house, did dishes, put away dishes, showered myself.
You earned the leftovers and the sour beer.
And the sour beer. Thank you, Colin. Well, or thank you, Diana, for sending us home with goodie bags for a 30th birthday. It was amazing. Okay, I can't. That's a whole nother story. But she did a birthday right for adults and sent everyone home with goodie bags.
I'm gonna have to start doing that. Like,
It
come to
was
my birthday,
great.
get an
Yeah.
adult goodie bag.
Yeah, it was great. All right, so let's get into the thick of it. So I'm gonna touch on a couple things here. So I'm gonna turn my phone on silent. Okay. So let's talk about shampooing, washing your hair. And I'm going to talk a little bit on SLS. I could talk about SLS all day. So several years ago, I started my SLS-free journey.
Abilene. You know what? I butchered your last name. You can butcher my first.
Hey, Abilene.
I'm Abilene, y'all.
Abby, do you know what SLS is?
That is the sodium lauryl sulfate.
Correct.
Boom.
So SLS, in a nutshell, it's a cheap cleaning agent. It's what makes things sudsy. It makes it foamy. So it's great for cleaning your cars and your floors and stuff. But I don't know about you, but I'm not fond of using the same shit to clean my car as I clean my mouth.
Yeah, my mouth and my floors are two separate things.
But all right, so I want to preface this with I know, same thing, that the stupid argument of anti-vaxxers of like, there's this chemical and that and stuff. And it's like, we're all made of chemicals, and there's lots of chemicals that are on a very trace amounts and stuff like that.
And that whole like oxygen dihydrate, be careful of that. And it's, fucking water.
Yeah, but SLS, so when you brush your, do you use SLS toothpaste?
Oh, I probably do.
All right, so let's say you brush your teeth and then you have orange juice.
Oh, and it's just terrible.
And you know why it tastes terrible?
Why?
Because of SLS. If you brush your teeth with SLS-free toothpaste, you can have orange juice.
That changes everything.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
I always thought it was just the mint, mint and orange.
It's not. It's the SLS. It's totally fucking with your mouth.
After I'm done plugging myself, I have the SLS to fuck me.
Yes. But I really want to talk about SLS in shampoo and just talk about shampooing in general. So SLS is a pretty harsh cleaning agent to have in your shampoo as it is. So I don't know, a lot of people tend to wash their hair every day. And hairstylists will tell you, do not do that. So shampoo has SLS, hand wash, body wash, your dish soap, which is not so bad because, it's going on your dishes. Yeah.
It's being tough on the grease. You just don't want it tough on your hair.
Exactly. So the SLS, shampoo in general as well. So it's stripping the natural oils in your hair. And then, after one day, your hair gets oily as fuck. And people, okay, I guess I gotta wash my hair again. And that's why they're washing their hair every day. Nobody's got time for that fucking shit.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You got bronchitis.
Yes. So there are two of my favorite soaps that are 3-in-1 soaps that I use for body wash. And when my hair was growing in from buzz cut, I would use it for shampoo. So Alethea, and I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just telling you from the good of my heart. Does that make sense? The good of my heart?
The good of, the goodness, right? And
goodness
the bottom of your heart, the goodness from your good of your heart.
I don't know. Anyway.
You're being altruistic. Yes. Nobody's paying you to say this shit.
Exactly. So Alethea African Black soap and also Everyone's soap. Those are amazing, and they're gentle, and they do the trick. They'll get you clean. In fact, my boyfriend, who's not a hippie, I try and be very natural and what have you. At one point, at our old place, he ran out of soaps and what have you, and I said he could use mine and he should use it, and he was hooked and he loved it, and he even got Oliver on it.
Nice.
And both of them shave their head, but they still want to like wash their scalp, and now they don't have to deal with dandruff issues.
Oh, boom.
Yeah. So regardless of whether or not you use SLS-free shampoo or not, you should still try and limit your shampooing to about 2 times a week. Regardless or not, if you use an SLS shampoo or not, you should limit your shampooing to about 2 times a week, because again, washing your hair too much is going to cause your hair to compensate for the lack of oils on your scalp, causing that dreaded greasy hair, because your hair is trying to make up the sebum that you're taking away. Not to mention, it's going to dry your scalp, and it's going to possibly create dandruff issues, which you might think it's dandruff, but it's really just dry skin on your hair. Even hairdressers, as I said, they tell you don't wash your hair every day. It's not good for your hair. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't rinse your hair, like get it wet, okay? So this is like, I got so much thoughts in my brain.
They're bottlenecking.
Yeah. All right. So say you're a morning person and you have to take a shower to wake yourself up. Do it. It's fine. You know, just don't use shampoo on your head. Just like rinse it with water. That's perfectly fine. It's a whole new thing for me to have to shower every day, because with the fitness program, if you've listened to our previous podcast, I'm doing a fitness program, and I'm working out 6 days a week, and I'm getting sweaty as balls. And
Sweaty AF.
And I need to, kind of wet my hair and kind of massage my scalp. Otherwise, it's going to get real nasty. Something else that I use to kind of put space between my washes is dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is my Lord and Savior. I fucking love dry shampoo. It's really going to absorb some of that oils. Something that my best friend Emily had told me at one point is you can put dry shampoo. Of course, you like lift your hair and you do the dry shampoo and you kind of massage it into your scalp and then you can brush it through. Another thing you can do is you can blow dry your hair on a cool setting, and it's going to really volumize your hair and make it look sexy.
Ooh.
So now you can go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum in regards to not washing your hair and not wash your hair. The no poo movement.
No poo.
No poo.
Your hair is constipated. There is no poo.
Oh, Abby. So I've done the no poo movement, and I did like it, and it's very, low maintenance, but it takes some time to get into it. You got to get your hair acclimated to it. So if you want to do the no poo movement, one thing that I would do is a mixture of water and baking soda, and I would pour that on my hair, and I would massage it in, rinse it out, and then I would follow it up with a quote-unquote conditioning rinse with apple cider vinegar mixed with water. And of course, if your hair is color treated, you have to go through a different sort of care regimen if you want to do no poo. But also, if you have colored hair, putting space between your washes is going to lengthen the life of your color and make it super vibrant. So there's also this like hair tea that I used to use from the All Natural Face. I can't plug them enough. They're amazing. If you're looking for good vegan makeup that's not going to break the bank, that's the place to go. allnaturalface.com. Go. So one last thing about washing your hair. you need to be careful about the temperature with which you wash your hair. There's different articles out there on the pros and cons of like a cold wash for your hair and like it closing the follicles and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to get into it. It was just like, yeah. But I do want to touch on the fact, I know I like scalding hot showers.
Same here.
Yeah, they're great and they're wonderful. Even though I know they're not great for my skin and especially for your scalp, which is super sensitive. So you don't necessarily need to wash with shockingly cold water for your hair, but it's better to do on the lukewarm side when you're getting to the washing of your hair part. And it's better. And it's not going to dry you out. Too long, don't listen. Avoid SLS if you can. It's less abrasive. Less abrasive soaps, the better. Space out those shampoos. And don't wash too hot on your scalp.
Boom.
So that was our head. And this whole episode is head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. So we're at head, so...
kind of going down to the shoulder. I guess more like eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
You want to bring us to our face?
I'm going to bring us to our face. I'm going to bring you to your
In
face.
your face.
I brought you to your face. But we're going to be talking about facial care. Because after you're done plugging yourself, you need to...
I was going to go there and you brought it. This is why you're my friend.
And this is why we're friends.com. So, talking about our facial care. So, there's a lot of information out there in terms of what we can do for our faces. And basically, every article you will find will say, do this, because if you don't do this, it's going to age your skin. And I will dive into that in a little bit. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that is kind of across the board. Everyone agrees you need to be doing, which is you need to be washing your makeup off before bed. So it turns out that not washing makeup off before you go to bed can cause irreversible damage to your skin. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't mean to cut you off or anything. Was that specifically to like foundation, or did it not specify?
It didn't specify, but given the other type of research I found, I would not be surprised if all types of makeup fall under this category, especially concealer and foundation. At the end of the day, those are going to be the big ones because that is going over your skin, that's going over all the sensitive spots, your nose, your forehead, your chin. So sleeping in makeup can really be detrimental to your health. So apparently, while we are sleeping, our skin is actually repairing itself. And if you have something like concealer or foundation on your skin, you are not allowing your skin to breathe. You're clogging up the pores, and that's going to affect its ability to repair itself. So that is actually where things like aging can start speeding up, because while we're sleeping, our skin can't do what it's supposed to be doing. So this was from, so that particular bit of information is from Dr. James Marotta, who is a facial plastic surgeon and skincare expert. He also warns that outside of that aging process, it can cause uneven skin tone, it can cause dryness, redness, acne, the deepening of wrinkles, which goes back to that whole you're not allowing your body to repair the skin while it's sleeping. So now we're going to go to mascara. Because if you're like me, you probably only wear mascara. You don't think, oh, I should wash this off because your skin is clean. Maybe you got some chapstick on your lips, but that's really it. Yeah, whatever. It's mascara. No biggie. I'm going to go to sleep. The thing is, you need to be washing that off as well. It can clog the tiny hair follicles in your eyelids, and that can cause irritation, inflammation, even infections or cysts. And that just sounds horrifying, like a cyst on your eyelid. Just no. So you need
Tell me how you really feel.
I will tell you how I feel after I'm done plugging myself. Anyway, so what you really need to do is you need to be washing all types of makeup. That includes your mascara, which I am terrible at. So one of the things we can do is we can wash our face before we go to bed. If we are lazy people, and I know
Me.
right? Especially
Guilty.
at night. Like, by the time I actually go to bed, I have basically, like, completely given up on any humaning. Like, that's the only way I'm able to go to bed is, like...
humaning.
Yeah, like, forget adulting. Like, I'm done being a human. And it's like, oh... Now I have to put on, like, PJs and stuff and brush my teeth. Yeah. Oh, jinx. But it really is tough because by the time I'm willing to get myself into bed, I just want to, like, snooze. So I might need to start doing this before I hit that anti-human and can't do any of the things. So they talk about you wash your face before bed. If you're a lazy pants, though, you can have the facial wipes. You know, it's not going to do as good of a job, but it's better than nothing. And one of the things that's even better than just washing your face is actually to use an oil-based cream, especially if you are somebody to be using concealer or foundation, because many cleansers can't take off concealer or foundation completely, especially around the eyes and nose. And as we just talked about, the eyes are some sensitive little creatures, and you really don't want them getting infected because of those cysts in the eyes. And people would think, well, why would I want to use like an oil-based cream? That sounds like I'm going to cause acne.
Abby, what's your email address?
Why do you want to know my email address?
What's your email address?
It's Abigail Rosemary.
Everyone send ISIS pictures to Abigail.
No, don't.
Rosemary@gmail.com.
Please don't. I mean, actually, probably the pictures themselves, like, I'm one of those people I can be grossed out. Like, I don't
like the pimple popper doctor.
I will watch those and be a little like sick to my stomach.
I can only watch a couple and then I'm
it creates like a primal like like I can't eat. Like if ever I need to be on a diet, then I need to watch those pimple popping videos. But anyway, so oil-based cleansers or creams can actually help get rid of that oil-based foundation or concealer. So we're talking about you need to wash off your makeup.
So I just want to pop in there.
Pop in there.
Poppin' lockin'.
What's up?
So I definitely can contest to the oil-based removers. Mm-hmm. So I tend to wear everything except for my lipstick. I do all natural, not like naked face, but I like to use very natural makeup. So for my eyeliners, I tend to use the All Natural Face, which is a vegan eyeliner, especially because like our eyes are sensitive, and I want to be, very conscientious of that. My mascara is, I forget the brand name, but has a unicorn on it, and it's another natural thing.
Unicorn?
I really love that it's a unicorn. It's amazing. Anyway, but the lipstick that I wear an all-day, like 16-hour or 24-hour lipstick, and that shit's hard to get off.
It is.
But it's like also remarkable if I go to sleep in it. I'll take off everything except the lipstick, and I'll wake up and my lipstick is like on fleek.
Boom.
Looking amazing, which is not good for my lips. But what I do use is jojoba oil. I'll put it on a cloth and I'll rub it on my lips. And it doesn't take like aggressive scrubbing. It comes off really easily. And I'll use that jojoba oil for the rest of my makeup if I want to.
Nice.
It's so good.
And jojoba oil is the most amazing thing to ever exist. And
so good for your skin.
It's so good for your skin. It's so good for your hair. Like, I think we could do an entire podcast just like plugging ourselves over jojoba oil.
I didn't put it in my notes, but coconut oil I will use as well.
Yes.
And coconut oil is not only good for cleaning your face, but it's also a good natural lube.
For plugging yourself.
And it's tasty.
Which, is important. You want a lube that tastes good. I mean...
Yep. Truth.
And
you're getting your facial.
You're getting your facial and plugging yourself, and you just need to...
My grandmother never listens to this.
I'm so happy that I think...
I kind of wish she does at the same time.
Would she be one of those people that's like, yeah, get it, girl?
So, sidebar. I remember I don't know how, I must have been in high school, I think. And we were watching the Robin Williams stand-up special. I forget what it's called, but everyone knows which one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this one part of his set where he talks about going down on a girl, and he has a really hairy arm, and he goes down. He's like,
I know
has his
exactly
face
that scene. Yep.
in the nook of his like,
His arm or
Yeah.
elbow, and
And I'm with my grandmother in the living room watching this.
Oh, boy.
And it's just like awkward giggles and stuff, but she laughs, and I'm like, okay. My grandmother is also the kind of person. Another sidebar. My mother told her my mom and my stepdad were trying to surprise her with patio furniture. And she was like, is Scott coming? Because she said, hey, Mom, I'm going to come by. She was like, is Scott coming with you? And she was like, oh, yeah. She was like, no. You come on your own. And she's like, no, he's going to come with me. My mom goes over there, and she's like, is Scott with you? No, well, he's not here right now. Oh, good. I think she opens the door, and she shimmies. My grandmother's topless doing this.
Oh, goodness.
And she laughs. Yeah, I definitely am my grandmother's daughter. Anyway.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I figure
I don't know how we got on that tangent, but that's all my fault, and I know it.
It is a beautiful thing. This is what this podcast is all about.
My grandmother flashing her daughter.
So we're going to switch from grandma's flashing daughters to one last thing, which is how often should you wash your face? And the fun thing here is that there is no definitive answer. Dermatologists, so this isn't just like beauty blogs and they're like absolutely no medical basis bullshit, but actual dermatologists are in conflict over how often you should wash your face. You will have some dermatologists that say you need to wash your face every single night and potentially every morning, especially if you oil skin. If you don't, you're going to age your face. And then you're going to have other people or other dermatologists saying you're washing your face too much. Unless you have makeup that you need to wash off, like chill out on it. If you wash it too much, you're going to age your face. I love that phrase, age your face.
I don't know about you, but I definitely hope for washing my face at night because I have makeup on and moisturize my face and then go to bed. But in the morning, if I'm like, yay, I actually washed my face and I'm waking up with no makeup, my face might be slightly oily, but I will go the quicker route and I'll just kind of splash water in my face and kind of rub it around, and then I'll just put on some moisturizer. Yeah. That's what I do. I don't know about you.
For me, I actually wash my face whenever I'm in the shower. That's my thing. So, and that is also getting back to that whole, like, I don't really wear makeup. So, and by the time I'm actually committing to go to bed, I've stopped being a human. So I get points for putting on pajamas and brushing my teeth, for crying out loud. So it really is my facial washers are all in the shower, and I wash my face in the shower with that scalding hot water, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to do scolding.
How
yes.
dare you?
Exactly.
Bad,
Scolding.
Abby! You missed behind your ears.
It is judging me every step of the way. Also, scalding hot water. Apparently, that whiskey sour is getting to me. Or scolding. You know what? I meant to say scolding. That water is judgmental and it's yelling at me. And it's one way to conserve water because you don't want to stay.
You're not going to brush your teeth, Abby.
You're naked in here, you slut.
You slutty whore.
But
oh, you're plugging yourself. I have no idea what accent this person's scolding water is, but
I'm okay with it. My own accents tend to travel around as well. My husband loves to make fun of me because I try to do a British accent and somehow it turns Australian into Slovakian into like, I don't even know what. It just gets weird.
I say we do a whole podcast with an Australian accent.
I like that idea. Let's do that. I don't even know what accent that was.
Apparently.
I'm an Australian who went to Texas. It's usually not this bad. I'm going to blame the alcohol. I'm really going to blame that.
Scalding hot water.
With the scalding hot water.
Hot water.
So I'm just aging myself across the board with my super hot water and washing my face every time I go into the shower. And since my day job is as a yoga instructor, I tend to shower every single day because you can get pretty sweaty even with a moderately paced yoga class. But The thing is the jury really is out on how many times you should wash your face. But they all agree you should be doing lukewarm water. You should find a cleanser that works for your particular skin. And then how often is gonna be up to you, because I think either way you're gonna lose. The dermatologist is gonna be like, yeah, you are terrible, bye.
Fuck those guys.
Right? Damn medical degrees. Anyway, Ashley, what would you like to talk about next?
I would like to go from our head to our face to coming to our mouths.
Coming to our mouths, you
Yes.
say? This is a smutty
Those
episode. Oh my God.
Sexy mouths. Look, I gotta be frank with y'all.
As opposed to Tony.
Yeah. I've never heard that one. So, I know it's a pain in your ass. You're still laughing.
I went from the...
You're so pleased with yourself.
It was a pun. I got to do a pun. I didn't even plan to do the pun.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna start crying. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh this hard.
But now I shifted from pun to pain in your ass. I'm like, please tell me more about being frank and having it be a pain in your ass. Oh boy.
Oh
I need
man, it's hot here.
So take off all your clothes.
Oh. All right, so I know it's a pain to brush your teeth. Shut up, Abby. So it's a pain to brush your teeth before bed. But it's the most important time to do it. Okay? Of course, it's important in the morning because no one wants to kiss that bread. That's nasty.
Ew.
Unless you're horny as fuck and you're like, fuck it.
Worth it.
Yeah, just from behind. Then we don't have to come face
We don't
to
have to
face.
breathe on each other.
Exactly.
Wait, come face to face?
So, besides the importance of brushing your teeth before bed, it's more important you have to floss. Okay? I'm sure pretty much the majority of you listening right now, you don't. You don't floss. Or you do it for a short period of time after getting shamed for your biannual
Right.
cleaning at the dentist.
When the
and then-
dental hygienist is like, and how often have you been flossing? Like every other day. And then you go home and you're like, oh God.
So I heard a really funny, it was a joke and it was also true life. So my friend Dennis, his mother is she's in dentistry. I don't know if she's like above cleaning and stuff. She doesn't do cleaning, but she did it because like it's her son. And she was like, so how often have you been flossing? And he was like, you were there last time. And then I shamed him the entire rest of our conversation for him not flossing. Especially because his mother is in,
Orthodontry?
yeah, there you go.
The dentist stuff with the teeth
dentist
and the braces.
stuff with the teeth and the braces.
And the coming in your mouth.
Yeah, they come in your mouth. So I would say,
What
nasty,
dentist are you
nasty.
going to?
The good kind. So, flossing.
Yes, let's get back to
Together,
flossing.
Abby.
I can't. I lost it ever since Tony.
Tony. So, flossing.
Yes.
So important.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this quote one time, and it was my favorite, and I was so ecstatic to find it again on the internet. So I would say my favorite analogy I have ever heard, and I'm sure I've told you before, Abby, to convey the importance of flossing was by Dr. Howard M. Steinberg, a prosthodontist. So, quote, not flossing is the equivalent of wiping your butt cheeks and skipping the crack.
Wow.
Yes, brushing your teeth it's like polishing the teeth. But does it get in that butt crack of your teeth? No. It tries so hard, but it doesn't quite get the job done. Flossing is so important there's all that gunk in your teeth. And for the few and far between times that you've actually flossed, you see what comes off on that floss.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta do old school, do the, floss strands. You can't do the picks, okay, with the disposable little thing.
Ooh.
Because the thing is that you're transferring bacteria from tooth butt crack to tooth butt crack.
It's like using the same piece of toilet paper. Like, ew.
It really is. Even if you wipe off some of the shit, right? There's still bacteria on there that
Would you
can't
want
see.
rinsed off toilet paper? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
no. But water picks are the bidets of the mouth. Right. So you need to use floss, and after every tooth, you go on to a further piece of the floss.
There you go.
Not only are you helping your teeth keep clean and actually doing the cleaning part with flossing, you're also preventing and curing gingivitis. So growing up, I'm sorry, Mom, I love you, but growing up, my parents did not impress upon me the importance of flossing. And I don't even have a mental image of them doing it themselves. I mean, at the same time, my dad did have dentures.
Yeah.
He was at a certain age. He was significantly older for me as a child. Anyway, so they didn't really, tell me that flossing was important. So because of my lack of flossing, I thought it was normal to have some blood when I would brush my teeth, or if that random time that I decided to floss. I love that this whole time of talking about flossing, you're constantly not showing your teeth and licking your mouth, your teeth.
All I
you're
can think
thinking about cleaning my teeth.
I've got poop in between my teeth. I gotta clean it out with some toilet paper.
Have yummy pork chops with a
I do have
maple
yummy.
glaze. Thank you, HelloFresh. You want to be our advertiser?
Right.
HelloFresh.
Sponsor.
So, yeah. I was thinking that a little bit of blood when you brush your teeth, when you floss, was normal until we fast forward to my early 20s when I was dating my ex-boyfriend. One of the very few things I can thank him for is how he was horrified that I didn't floss. And so began my flossing journey. And what do you know? My gingivitis went away. Magic!
Magic, bitch.
Or science.
Science, bitch.
Science, bitch. So yeah, just flossing my teeth regularly, no longer saw blood.
Hey.
And I do notice when I have those little random fall throughs that I see a little bit of blood, and then I get back on my flossing, and then it's fine. So not only is flossing good hygiene, it helps prevent bad breath, it helps keep your mouth healthy, and who can honestly stand something stuck in your teeth? I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
a
worst.
horrible feeling.
And I have a permanent retainer, so that's even more fucking worse. So floss, it helps keep your breath good, it helps clean your teeth. I keep floss everywhere. In my car, in my lunch bag, obviously at home, in a purse if I randomly have one. Don't tend to keep a purse, because I'm a bitch like that. Yeah, I will also, because my phone case has a little card carrying case. Anyway.
Multifunctional.
Yeah, so I'm going to, before I finish talking about flossing and mouths and coming in our mouths, so you can't circumvent flossing by using mouthwash, okay? A quote from Dr. Mark Burhen in an article on lifehacker.com. Over-reliance on mouthwash is one of the biggest mistakes people make when caring for their teeth. Using antibacterial mouthwash can disrupt the normal flora or bacterial count in the mouth. Kind of like douching. You shouldn't do it. It's going to fuck up the pH balance.
It's an outdated sexist tool like douchebags in general.
Yeah, so mouthwash is the equivalent of douching. Well, at least alcohol-based mouthwashes, which is the majority of the stuff that's on the market. I'm paraphrasing. Alcohol mouthwash is the douching of your mouth. Don't do it.
You should have that like trademark. Like,
I
that's a
should.
slogan.
So, another thing to touch on mouthwash. In 2005, Listerine tried to claim that mouthwash could replace flossing.
Ooh.
Lawsuit. Cue lawsuit.
Shots fired.
And go figure, they fucking lost.
Color me shocked.
Yeah, because it can't replace flossing. All right? There are good mouthwashes out there, but the good ones that you can use are not ones with alcohol. And in fact, so the alcohol dries out your mouth and it can cause bad breath or continue that bad breath. Vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Long story. Too long. Don't listen. Floss your fucking teeth.
Right.
Okay?
Floss your fucking teeth, kid.
Even
Jesus.
if it's like in the middle of the night, or not in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day. Yes, in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just fucking floss it.
Right.
In the car, I'll do it. Knee drive.
Right.
You didn't hear from me.
Do it in the car. Do it in your room.
Yeah.
Do it at work.
So that's the end of my flossing spiel. Abby,
Yes.
tell me about our body.
I will tell you about our body. So would you like to know how many
Yes.
hours you don't even know where we're going with that. Yes.
Always. Yes.
And also this is why we're friends. We're just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm in. It's plugging.
It's also why we're enablers of each other.
We really are. We're bad influences. Well, but that's why we have our steady, like, sensible, like, men in our lives. Like, they can be the ones who are like, no, let's rein it in, honey. Let's rein
Well,
it in.
one of us.
Well, yeah.
Well, he's sensible, my boyfriend.
I'd say so. And
But we're also well, actually, no. Yes, you're right.
at least they're not super enably like we can be enably with each other.
Yeah, Michael's not enably.
Yeah.
I'm the drinker. He only does it on the weekends.
Yeah. And we've already mentioned that my husband doesn't drink at all, and he is definitely
That
the
would
one.
be dangerous.
Oh my goodness. And again, for those who don't know who my husband is, simultaneously, I'm sorry and you're missing out. But he is somebody that you hang out with him sober and you're like, I am so glad he has inhibitions. Like, I am so glad there's something that's holding him back. Because, and I'm going to completely digress here, but there's actually a very interesting story about when he got, I think it was his...
Are we going to the dentist story?
We're going into the dentist story with the
Yes!
tonsils. So, and I forget how old my husband was, but he was really young. It was long before.
This is my favorite story.
Oh my god, which is kind of morbid given that, like, what the topic, well, not
results.
morbid, the results, I guess. So he gets his tonsils taken out and he gets put under. Now, first off, it took a lot to put him under. And apparently his dad, who is a doctor, was like really nervous because apparently the amount they gave him to put him under was enough to put like a baby elephant under. So he was like, okay, like, is my son going to wake up from this shit? So he does wake up from the shit, but he's in a bit of a stupor. And apparently while he was in the stupor, there was an ER nurse that was tending to him. And now, mind you, ER nurse. And she had been an ER nurse for 25 years at this point. Like, this woman had probably seen some shit. Like, for real. And whatever he had said to that ER nurse had her running from the room crying. My mother-in-law refuses to tell Isaac, my husband, what he
on her dying
on her dying day. Like, this
yeah.
is what you said. No, repent. She's also very Christian too, so of course there's going to be some repenting. But yeah, apparently whatever he said was just so terrible that he made an ER nurse, a veteran ER nurse, run from the room in tears. That is not somebody you want drunk. That is not somebody that you like, because you see that, like, some people lose their inhibitions and they're like, I'm gonna fight this wall, and it's just bad. Like, Isaac would be like, I'm gonna tell people things that's gonna make them jump off the nearest bridge. So it's a really good thing that he stays sober.
That makes me like him more sometimes.
Well, I love it because I'm such a passive person. So it's like, yay, you're my little pit bull. Like, you can fight my battles, or, well, not all my battles, because, like, work-related ones I have to fight myself, but almost anything else I can be like, sick 'em, boy, and it's a wonderful experience. But we're going to go back to washing now. So, would you like to know how many hours we will spend washing ourselves in a shower over our lifetime?
Absolutely.
Over 12?
Does that include masturbation?
We're gonna say no. This is for washing the body, not dirtying the body. No plugging yourself here.
Well, it's not dirty if you're using a shower hose.
Well,
My
True.
best friend. We haven't seen each other in a while since I moved to New Hampshire. But I miss you, shower hose. Please come back.
Call me.
Call me.
But assuming masturbation is not included in these hours, it is
It
over.
should be.
It probably should be. I think the number would go up way more, though.
Seriously, they say starting your day with an orgasm will give you a better day.
You know what? I don't doubt that for 1 minute. That could be a BuzzFeed article, and I'm like, legit, I'll
Even
do
if
it.
it's self-orgasm.
Right?
Orgasm is an
Or
orgasm.
an orgasm is an orgasm, right? Plugging is plugging, man. Anyways, it is over 12,000 hours in your lifetime.
Oh, in your lifetime? I feel like that's not too
That's
bad.
too much, you know. Space it over 90 plus years. That's
How
not
many
too
is
too.
that per year?
You know what? I wish I could do math. 12,000 divided by 9.
You said, well, like if it's, say we live to, nope, that it's, moving on.
Moving on, people. So anyways, we spend a lot of fucking time washing ourselves. So that's not just the shower itself, but the actual act of washing ourselves. And unlike the dermatologists who are all like, you know, you should wash your face all the time. You shouldn't. No, you really shouldn't be washing your bodies as much as you do. So here's the problem. Now,
Can I interject?
yes.
I would say that a huge portion of this that it's not touched on is probably because a lot of the body washes that people use have
SLS. That's probably in there.
And it's abrasive. So
really-
of course you're not going to, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say regardless of whether it's SLS or not, it's still, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if you're doing it all the time, it might actually be harmful for you. So, according to the Genetic Science Center at the University of Utah, overcleaning can damage the human microbiome. So that's the collection of bacteria, viruses, and other microbes that live in and around your body. And
I kind of. This is a whole digression podcast. It's going to make
It's
editing
all good.
very interesting.
or make the episode itself so
You-
good.
Yeah, your biome definitely made me think of Biodome.
Although I really hope that your skin doesn't have these little girls with the robots going around. Oh no, that's Bioshock. Fuck.
No, I'm talking Polly Shore and
Yeah,
one of the Baldwin
yes.
brothers.
Yeah. Wow. My brain is just off today. This is wonderful.
So nerdy.
I feel like that should give
Yes,
me at least
little
1
robots.
point in the little nerd cred.
So our natural biome.
Yes, our natural biome, not to be
Our
confused with our
natural
shock.
biodome.
Or the bio. I am shocked.
I've got 2 biodomes.
Well, if you overclean, then it becomes a bioshock. So
Oh, yeah.
there we go.
There you go. But
Brought it back together. But but it really can mess things up. You basically completely clear it out. And I know a lot of people can think, oh, you know, germs, bacteria, I don't want that on my skin. You actually do. You know, depending on what it is, you need that even balance.
like good bacteria in your
Exactly.
stomach.
Like good bacteria
Or
in
your
your stomach.
vagina.
Exactly. It's actually why you got to be careful with things like antibiotics, because the antibiotics will wipe out the good bacteria as well. And that's usually why you'll have issues with digestion. You'll have to be careful about being out in the sun. It's because you just wiped out
Your birth
all.
control.
Right? You got to be careful because it wiped out all the good stuff along with the bad stuff. So the reality is you really shouldn't be washing as often as you do, especially with soap. And I wanted to touch upon what one journalist / doctor did, James Hamlin for The Atlantic, somebody I follow on Facebook, and I think he's just this hilarious, dry-humored, wonderful writer, doctor person. What he did is, starting into 2016, he essentially stopped showering completely, and to see what would happen.
I'm without water, or he just.
So he transitioned himself. It was a 6-month transition into going from, you know, showering every day with soap, water, shampoo, and what have you, to like kind of rinsing, to rinsing every so often, to completely like going cold turkey.
Oh, but he smelled so fresh. But by fresh, I mean not.
So that was honestly what happened. At first, his BO got really bad. And there's actually a reason for that. The odor in our bodies is actually a byproduct of the bacteria that lives on our skin, feeds off the oily secretions, and so on and so forth. When we soap our skin, everything gets cleared away. But what starts to reproduce at a faster rate than everything else is those bacteria. So the odor producing bacteria are the ones that are like, we will thrive in this desert wasteland. And it kind of fucks shit up. So actually washing yourself.
For the Shire!
for the stinky Shire? I don't know. They're not all going to be winners. But so that in a weird ironic twist, washing yourself too much could actually make you stinky. And that's actually what happened with him.
So I can be happy that I don't shower all that often.
Exactly.
Except for when I have to go to the... Well, even though I'm not ashamed to admit it. I went to the gym today and I did, lifting and what have you. But I didn't get extremely sweaty as I would because I skipped, sorry, Christy, the burnout part because I was like, I'm fucking hungry and I need to get home and finish my podcasting homework. Yes. I was like, I lifted hard today. I'm okay with...
I don't need to burn out. I'm already burned out.
Yeah, my burnout session was going to the hydro massages at Planet Fitness.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. I didn't shower when I got home. And I feel pretty clean.
There you go.
My armpits don't smell too bad.
There you go, baby. So when it came to James Hamlin, at first he was a stinky mess, but it eventually evened out. And
I wish that would happen to the climbers at gyms.
Oh boy, I feel like they would have to do that whole no shower, somewhere else, and
But I don't know. The BO in a rock climbing gym can get pretty rank.
Well, I mean, there's also, you got to think, sweat building around the harnesses. Does that do anything? And there's a lot of variables there. Yeah. But when we're going back to Mr. Hamlin, eventually he got to a place where he said, "I just smelled like a person. I didn't have BO." I
smelled like a person.
Basically, that's what he said it. I smelled like a person. He didn't have BO, but at the same time, he's not smelling like rose water or Axe body spray or anything like that.
So would he not do any water at all?
So apparently, and now he's still doing this to this day. There was an article a year later, checking in, are you still doing this? What he does is, if he worked out, he will rinse in the shower. If he woke up and just feels a little he's got bedhead or the scalp just feels a little off, he'll rinse his hair under lukewarm water. But he is still soap-free completely. So, I don't know if I would fully recommend that. I think that's kind of like the no poo movement, where I feel like you've got to be a very specific type of person. You got to be willing to commit and willing to deal with the fact that you're going to have a really nasty transition period where no one's going to want to be near you because holy shit. But they really say washing every single day is really not good for you. Rinsing is perfectly fine, especially if you are somebody who's active. Definitely rinse. And if you have to use soap, then use it in those very intense areas. You're talking your armpits and around the genital region. If you're
anus,
right,
your butt.
Let's be real here. Wash your butt, kids.
Watch your butthole. Wash your butthole.
It's the flossing for your butt.
It's a very weird conversation being someone who works in childcare from time to time. Of trying to be hands off because they need to learn it for themselves and they're also not your kids. And be like, don't forget to wash your butt. Your butt crack. And your armpits.
Those are important things.
I'm going to go check on your other sister.
Right? This is honor system. I'm going to trust that you're doing this.
Please do that.
I feel like even just telling them, though, how many parents actually do that? Especially the white parents, let's be real here, probably are not being and we're going to wash your butt crack. That was not part of my vocabulary in any way, shape, or form. That was something I learned, oh, wait a minute, you need to wash everything. All right. Mm-hmm. But for us women, we do actually have to be careful about using soap down there because, again, you can interrupt the pH balance.
Yep, don't wash your vag, but don't use soap.
Right? Like, water is your buddy. Water will
Water's your
forever
buddy.
be your buddy. So the too long didn't listen here really is you don't need to be washing as often as you do. And you can take your daily showers. I love my daily showers, but maybe you're just rinsing. Maybe you're not, using your soap. And then you might have the 12,000 extra hours to, plug yourself.
And one last thing to add to that. After all that's said and done and you're in the shower, before you get out of that shower, did you wash your feet? Did you wash your fucking feet? Because I know you didn't.
Them feet are nasty.
Yeah, just because you're in the shower and soap goes down, your feet aren't getting washed. You need to pick up that foot, hold on to something if you need to, if you're not that sturdy and need to work on your
Wash your
yoga
feet.
skills. Yeah, wash your feet. They get dirty and you can get athlete's foot and what have you.
I know that one for personal experience. The kickboxing place I train at, and we kickbox barefoot. The grounds can get pretty nasty, and I can have some really like black feet afterwards, and I can tell when I didn't wash my feet in my shower because I will walk out and I will still have that blackness under my feet. And I was like, nope, guess I'm going back in, and guess I'm using soap for this bitch because this is nasty.
And if you do kickboxing and you wrap your feet and what have you, and you get all that gook in the bottom of the tub, this is going to a personal experience of cleaning people's houses. You can use Goo Gone to get rid of the residue, but then you're really going to have to wash afterwards because it's fucking slippery.
Right? Oh boy. That is how accidents happen. That's how paramedics end up in your house.
So careful with your lube. So to recap this episode, which was very long but very necessary and might be shorter after some editing.
That's what she said?
Yes. Don't wash your hair all the time, all right? Space it out.
Right? And when it comes to makeup, wash your freaking makeup off. But how often you should wash your face, you're going to have to figure that one out on your own.
You do you. Floss your fucking teeth.
Right? Jesus.
Floss your teeth, my friends. Floss your teeth.
Floss your preciouses, my precious. And likewise, you really don't need to be washing with soap as often as you are. Also, plug yourself. It's healthy. It's healthy to plug yourself.
It's healthy. So if you like what you heard or seen, you can find us on all sorts of podcasting platforms.
Everywhere, baby.
We're on Spotify.
We're on iTunes.
We're on Stitcher.
We're on other stuff. We're on SoundCloud.
We're on other things. We're on
Podcast
Google
Republic.
Play.
And
All the
fucking,
places.
yeah, all the places,
Yeah,
people.
you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram.
You can find us on Twitter.
You can find us soon in the future on a website, truthadulting.com.
You'll find us on YouTube watching the videos of these podcasts, which are just glorious if you think it's fun just listening
like an
to
extra
us.
bonus.
Right? Like, watch my face light up during the puns or just turn beet red because I can't stop laughing
Right?
over Tony and the pain in your butt.
I know people who listen to the podcast and then they're like, I want to watch that too.
Right? And I have people who don't listen to the podcast at all because they don't do podcasts, but they will do YouTube.
Yeah. You can also email us at cheerstoadulting@gmail.com. If you have any questions, you have any comments, if you just want to talk to us, we need friends. We want friends.
I want to chat with you. I like people.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our international listeners. Apparently we got Brazilians.
Right?
Yeah, obrigado.
What's up?
We have few people in England, the UK.
The UK.
What up?
Ayo.
It might just be my friend Bob. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. We have
We got some Canadians, I believe.
Canadians, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're our most polite listeners, eh?
I think some Germany people.
Yep.
Shout out Germany.
Australians as well. I am so sorry that you had to hear that.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. It's almost like we're not just talking to space and our friends.
Right?
But either way, I don't fucking
We're
care.
having a conversation, but it's a conversation with you guys.
Yeah. So thank you guys. And
Right.
I have an empty drink, so I'm going to H2O toast this.
Woohoo.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To adulting.
To adulting.
Cheers to adulting.